10, 9, 8. Go for main engine start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And 0 and liftoff. Space Shuttle Atlantis reaching the crest of its historic achievements in space.
The Space Shuttle was one of the most complex machines ever built. We can only imagine the amount of system checks and rechecks that must have gone into every single launch. After well over 100 launches, it may have become a bit routine. NASA continued to do them anyway, knowing their importance. Confirming all systems were go meant the difference between success and failure. Now, we're not kidding ourselves here. You aren't piloting the Space Shuttle, but you are driving a several-ton work truck. You won't be the only one on the road. That vehicle has to be in safe operating condition. There are rules and regulations that we all have to live by. The same goes for our work vehicles. The DOT, Department of Transportation, allows you to drive only if your vehicle is safe to operate. Not only that, our company's policy stipulates that you may not drive an unsafe vehicle ever. Since you are the one operating the vehicle, you must inspect it each day before you drive it, even if you're only driving for a little while. You are responsible to tell your supervisor about every defect that may affect your ability to operate the vehicle safely. Did you notice the use of the word you? I hope so. Remember, we can't fix what you don't report. You must document your inspections on a DVIR, Daily Vehicle Inspection Report. It must be done every day. Remember, you only check the boxes corresponding to things you find wrong with the truck. In other words, if an item is working correctly, you do not check the DVIR box for that item. You must sign the DVIR and turn it in according to the schedule set up by your supervisor. There are several categories of things the DOT wants you to check every day. These things are service brakes, including the trailer brake connections, parking brake, steering mechanism, lighting devices and reflectors, tires, horn, windshield wipers, rear view mirrors, coupling devices, emergency equipment, tie-down bolsters, locking pins, clevises, clamps or hooks, wheel rims and lugs, airline connections, hoses and couplers. There's no particular order that you must check these items in. For this example, we chose to start at one corner of the truck and work our way around. You can do that, you can follow your DVIR form, or you can come up with your own method. The important thing is that you check all these items every day. Remember this rule of thumb. Everything that should be clean, and everything that should be dirty. In other words, if you see dirt, grease, or oil someplace you don't expect it, there may be a problem. In the same way, if you see a clean spot rubbed where you expect everything to be dirty, like underneath the truck, there may be a problem. That doesn't always mean there is a problem, but you need to investigate to be sure. Starting on the outside, perform an overall inspection of the truck. Generally speaking, does anything look wrong? If so, note it. First, open the hood and check the oil, power steering fluid, coolant level, presence and condition of belts, filters, as well as the overall condition under the hood. If you can see the steering mechanism, this is a good time to check for loose or missing or worn parts. In general, look to see if anything is broken, missing, loose, or leaking. If anything is, make sure your supervisor knows. If you have an automatic transmission, leave the hood open. There's one more check we'll get to there in a minute. Next, at the driver's door, check the DOT inspection sticker to make sure it's current. It's good for 1 year from the inspection date. You can't roll if the inspection is not current or if the sticker can't be read. If you left the hood up because you have an automatic transmission, check the automatic transmission fluid with the engine running once the engine warms up. Check the driver's door rear view mirror. It should be tight and properly adjusted. No cracks or broken glass are allowed. Check the driver's side reflectors and marker lights. They should all work and be clean enough to be seen. Check the driver's side air tanks and hoses. There shouldn't be any leaks or visible damage. Check the rear tires. The minimum tread depth is 2/32 of an inch here. Use a penny like this. Make sure Lincoln's head is covered and you're good to go. There shouldn't be any bald spots, cuts, big chunks of missing rubber, or any other visible defects on the tires. Check the rear brake parts. There shouldn't be any visible damage, and the S-cams shouldn't be loose or stuck. Before you leave the driver's side, make sure everything is secure. Nothing should be loose, including tools and materials. Now step around to the back of the truck. If there's a rear license plate, it should be clean enough to read, and the light should work. Marker, clearance, and parking lights must be working and clean enough to see. The pinto hook must be firmly attached, working correctly, and the safety pin must be in place. If you have a trailer, that's a separate inspection. Glad hands, if you have them, must be firmly attached and they cannot be leaking. Trailer light and electric brake connections must be in good condition. Attachment points for safety chains, if you have them, must be undamaged. Now step around to the passenger side of the truck and check all the same things you checked on the driver's side. Again, inspect the tires, reflectors, doors, mirrors, marker lights, running lights, etc. When you get to the front tires, the check is the same, but the tread depth is double. The minimum is 4/32 of an inch here. The last part of the outside you can do by yourself is the front. The headlights should be on and clean. The marker and clearance lights should be all on and clean as well. The front license plate, if you have one, should be clean enough to read. And the windshield shouldn't have any cracks or chips in the driver's field of view. Finally, if you couldn't see the front suspension with the hood up, check under the front. Are there any loose, missing, bent, or broken suspension parts? If so, tell your supervisor right away. Now climb into the driver's seat and have someone help you check the turn signals, backup lights, and backup alarm. After that, it is time to check the parking and service brakes. If you don't have air brakes, just set the parking brake and put the truck in gear. It should not move. On trucks with air brakes, make sure your wheels are chalked and you're on as flat a surface as you can find. Release the parking brake and make sure the truck will not roll before you proceed. This is important. The truck must be parked on a level grade so it won't roll when you release the parking brake. Make sure the parking brake is still off and turn the engine off, but leave the key in the run position. Note the air pressure on your DVIR. Press down the brake pedal and hold it for 30 seconds. Don't pump it. Without a trailer, the air pressure may not leak down more than 3 psi during these 30 seconds. With the trailer, the pressure can't leak more than 5 psi. After that 30-second test, start pumping the brakes, releasing air from the system, until you see a warning light on the dash, hear a beeper or buzzer, or both. Continue to pump the brakes until the parking brake comes on by itself. If the low pressure alarms don't work, or if the parking brake doesn't come on by itself, the brakes aren't working correctly and you can't use the truck before it's repaired by a qualified air brake mechanic. Once the air brake test is complete, restart the engine and let the pressure build back up. Leave the parking brake on. Finally, set the brakes on the trailer, if you have one, electric or air. Release the truck brake and put the truck in gear. The trailer should keep you from moving with an automatic transmission and should be difficult to move with a manual transmission. If you have found any defects, note them on your DVIR and tell your supervisor. Your supervisor will decide if the defect or defects will affect the safety of your vehicle, and he must check the DVIR accordingly and sign it. If there aren't any defects, just sign the DVIR and keep it with you until the end of the day. Make sure your load is secure and that you have everything you need, including your driver's license and medical card. Make sure all your mirrors are adjusted so you can see the traffic behind and beside your vehicle. Once you're ready to go, remove your chocks, buckle up, check the area around your truck one last time, and drive safely. And that's it, the DOT inspection. Fairly painless, really. Do you ever wonder what it would have been like to fly one of those things anyhow? Guess we'll never know. Just remember, think safety and work safely. Thanks for watching.